Hello players! The Mario Kart series has kept us glued to the screen with its entertaining games over the years. However, are all games equally good? Today we're ranking all the Mario Kart games from worst to best. If you're ready, let's hit the tracks and see which game comes out on top. Mario Kart Live Home Circuit took the series to a completely different dimension and offered an experience where the real world and the game were intertwined. Developed using a real RC car and augmented reality technology, this game allowed players to design their own Mario Kart tracks at home. Controlling the car via Switch and establishing a connection between virtual elements and the real world was truly impressive. However, since the gaming experience depends entirely on your physical space, it could be difficult to play in small or unsuitable spaces. Additionally, it was necessary to purchase additional cards to enjoy the multiplayer experience, which somewhat limited accessibility. Still, it offered a fresh take on the Mario Kart series, offering an interesting experience that brought creativity and technology together. Mario Kart Arcade GP was one of the games that took the series from traditional consoles to arcade halls and offered a brand new experience. This version, developed by Bandai Namco, presented the classic Mario Kart gameplay in a larger and flashier way, while also including surprise characters such as Pac-Man. One of the most striking aspects of the game was the ability to reflect the player's facial expressions on the screen during the race with the camera system in the arcade cabinets. While the tracks maintained the classic Mario Kart aesthetic, they featured more exaggerated and flashy elements. However, in keeping with arcade logic, races were kept short and in-game items were credit-based, thus limiting long-term playability. Still, it's a fun option for those who want to experience Mario Kart in the arcade. Mario Kart Tour was the first game to bring the series to the mobile world and offer the opportunity to experience Mario Kart anytime, anywhere. Although the touchscreen controls were difficult to get used to at first, they offered a smooth racing experience over time. One of the most notable aspects of the game was the addition of tracks inspired by real-world cities. Themed tracks such as Paris, Tokyo, and New York added a fresh atmosphere to the series. However, the game was full of microtransactions throughout, and characters and vehicles were often earned based on luck. Additionally, some of the traditional Mario Kart mechanics have been simplified, and the competitive spirit of the game has been somewhat lost. However, it continued to be played by a wide range of players thanks to its constantly updated content and entertaining tournaments. It offered a fun alternative for those who want to try the Mario Kart experience on mobile. Developed for Game Boy Advance, Mario Kart Super Circuit brought a great innovation as the first game to offer the Mario Kart experience on a portable device. While maintaining the 2D style of Super Mario Kart, it was inspired by the track designs and gameplay dynamics of Mario Kart 64. In addition to 20 new tracks, it also offers the opportunity to unlock 20 classic tracks in Super Mario Kart, making it a very full game in terms of content. The graphics were colorful and vibrant, befitting the GBA's power, but the driving mechanics felt a little slippery for some players. The difficulty level was quite high and AI opponents could have unfair advantages at times. However, it offered a successful portable Mario Kart experience for its time and is fondly remembered by fans of the series. Super Mario Kart was the game from which the entire series started and the basic building block that brought the karting racing genre to where it is today. This game, released for SNES in 1992, was revolutionary for that time. Thanks to Mode 7 technology, a feeling of depth was created on the tracks, and racing dynamics were made both fun and competitive. The game was quite comprehensive for its time, with 8 characters, 20 tracks, and innovative features such as battle mode. However, compared to today's Mario Kart games, the driving mechanics are a bit stiff and the controls are less fluid. Still, it remains unforgettable as a classic that laid the foundations of the series, introduced the mechanic of eliminating opponents with items, and opened the door to multiplayer races.
Let's go!
Mario Kart 64 is one of the games that took the series from 2D to 3D and became a nostalgic classic for many players. It took the core gameplay of Super Mario Kart and modernized it with larger, more detailed tracks. The large and highly detailed track designs, which were very innovative for that period, were one of the biggest features that made the game different from other racing games. Especially iconic tracks such as Rainbow Road and Bowser's Castle still remain in our memories. While the multiplayer mode took the competitive spirit to its peak, battle mode allowed hours of fun with friends. However, the driving mechanics are a bit crude by today's standards, and the single-player mode can be frustrating at times due to the artificial intelligence having an advantage. Still, Mario Kart 64 continues to maintain its legacy as one of the most influential games in the series.
Here we go!
Mario Kart 7 was one of the games that used the power of 3DS to the fullest and added important innovations to the series. One of the biggest changes was the ability to dive underwater and float while racing. This feature added a new dimension to track designs and made races feel more dynamic. Thanks to the vehicle customization system, tires, gliders, and chassis could be changed, so players could create combinations suitable for their driving style. The online racing system was stable and fun, but the fact that battle mode was played on normal tracks instead of classic arenas was disappointing for some players. The graphics were quite successful compared to the handheld console, and 3D effects added extra depth to the races. With new characters, retro tracks, and balanced gameplay, Mario Kart 7 took the portable Mario Kart experience one step further. Mario Kart Double Dash offered one of the most different gameplay mechanics in the series, providing an unforgettable experience. The mechanics of using 2 characters in the same vehicle increased strategic depth and made races more tactical. The fact that each character had their own special items took the competition to a more interesting point. Participating in races as one driver and the other as an item user was a unique experience, especially when played with friends. The game drew attention with the most detailed graphics of the series up to that time, using the power of GameCube. It became one of the most iconic games of the series with 16 new tracks, impressive music, and fun gameplay mechanics. However, it was not everyone's favorite due to its different structure from the classic Mario Kart formula. Still, it made a great contribution to the series with its fun and innovative structure. Mario Kart DS was one of the games that took the portable Mario Kart experience to the top. It offered online multiplayer support for the first time in the series, allowing players to compete with opponents from all over the world. Single-player content such as Mission Mode was one of the biggest innovations that ensured the game's longevity. In addition to 16 new tracks, it was also a big plus that it offered 32 different racing areas in total, with 16 retro tracks taken from old games. Thanks to the snaking technique, professional players took the game to a whole new level and made the races more technical. While the variety of characters and differences in vehicles added depth to the gameplay, touchscreen integration brought a nice innovation to the game. It was widely acclaimed as both a competitive and entertaining game in its time, and continues to be remembered as one of the best portable games in the series.
Mario Kart, whee! Wahoo!
One of the games that brought the Mario Kart series to a wide audience is definitely Mario Kart Wii. This game, which made you feel steering control using the Wii Remote's motion sensing technology, offered a fun but also competitive experience. A wide selection of 32 tracks, the addition of motorcycles to the series, and support for up to 12 people in online races were among the major innovations. Especially the drift mechanics of motorcycles and the use of wheelies added a serious tactical depth to the game. While character and vehicle selection became strategic, some unbalanced combinations determined the competitive scene. However, the chaotic races offered great entertainment for those who loved the chaos of classic Mario Kart. It has continued to be played for years, with both local multiplayer and online racing, and is still a favorite with many players. Mario Kart 8 was one of the most visually impressive Mario Kart games that brought the series to the new generation. It added a whole new dimension to the gameplay of the series by offering the opportunity to race on walls and ceilings on the tracks with its anti-gravity mechanics. In addition to 32 basic tracks, it reached a total of 48 tracks with DLCs, offering a very full game in terms of content. The vehicle mechanics were very balanced, and everything from engine sounds to driving feel was perfectly designed. Online modes have remained active for a long time and have become a major attraction for competitive players. However, due to the low sales figures of the Wii U, it did not receive the full attention it deserved. However, it created a solid foundation in terms of content and made up for its shortcomings with the deluxe edition that came later.
Yes.
This game, which we can call the pinnacle of the Mario Kart series, offers a perfect racing experience in every sense. With its advanced graphics, smooth gameplay, and wide character track options, it managed to attract both new players and old fans of the series. The deluxe edition not only offers all the content in the Wii U version, but also turns it into the most comprehensive game in the series with extra characters and an improved battle mode. With 48 tracks, 42 characters, and 200cc mode, it offers a great challenge for speed enthusiasts. Thanks to the anti-gravity mechanics, racing on the walls and ceilings of the tracks is also a pleasure. The stability of online races and the ability to compete anytime, anywhere with the portability of Nintendo Switch ensured the longevity of the game. If you're going to play a Mario Kart game, this is probably the best option.
Is that all you've got?